How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. It has been getting roasted just like many other small cap stocks. But you guys know already, this is going to be a very interesting play going into 2022. I'm going to talk about it more inside of this video. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bullish case scenario as well as in the bearish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what the buying and the selling behavior is like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.47, being down 2.37%. On the low, it tested $2.42, and then on the high, testing $2.59. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 8.34 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 12.498 million shares. So we did have below average volume, but no surprise due to the market conditions that we've been having. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 33.49. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, we're below the 200-day, we're below the 50-day, and we're also below the 21-day EMA. And like I've pointed out in previous videos, BBIG is in a bear market. So what we could see, it is definitely hanging on to support here right around this 240 area. We've seen this being an area of support back in August. So I want to see if this is going to continue, especially as we come closer to the end of 2021. As far as for 2022, I know many are going to be looking for some upside inside the stock. So in order for us to look for a strong reversal here, we're going to need to come back to this $3 level. We know it's going to be a psychological area. It's lined up right here at the 21-day EMA at $3.03. We could see some selling pressure, but once we're able to get above this, this is where I'm going to be looking forward to seeing how well we could actually fill in this gap right here around $3.77. Many traders would be eyeing BBIG to actually pull this play off. We did see before it was able to hold up support in the $3 range, and this is why I say if buying volume picks back up going to 3, yes, there could be some pressure, but we could easily go back to building some support since we've been able to do this in the past. As far as for the bearish case scenario, we ended up seeing a low of the day around 242. So if we pulled back even more, then we could possibly go as far back as around $2.25, and even going further, we can go down to around $2.17. So now that you're aware of what things are looking like, I think the best case scenario would be some consolidation right here in the mid 2, so around $2.50 to be exact. So we can look forward to see if it can actually gain some momentum going into 2022. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for BBIG. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it is at 55.58%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 2.85 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 24 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow free rate, it is at 27.81%. As we scroll down further for the short volume ratio, at the close of December the 27th, it was at 60.32, and then for the close of the 28th, it is at 55.58. So it did go down a bit, but one thing that is very clear, BBIG still continues to have short squeeze potential, and there's many shorts who are vested in this play. This is why you see a lot of volatility and why I give you guys those areas if it continues to have moves to the downside. But as far as for 2022, this play does remain interesting. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see here on the inflows at 3,557, and then on the outflows at 4,058. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 1,041. On the medium, it was 1,884. And then on the small, it was 632. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 636. On the medium, it was 2,483. And then on the small, it was 940. So overall, it was an outflow day. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, we ended up having an inflow of 405.08. Now, when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders, which represents the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which we just covered, we had more buying than we had selling. And this could potentially represent institutions and funds. Now, when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 8.65%. We are used to seeing a high turnover ratio for BBIG, and I'm not surprised we see a continuation of this. And the main reason being is we are getting close to the end of the year. Many have sold for tax loss purposes, and many are also down in BBIG overall. So when you take that into consideration, as well as for the overall market sentiment being negative, then of course you're going to see the price action that you have been witnessing. So we'll talk more about it inside of the final thoughts. Let's jump into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, this is going to be an interesting play going into 2022. And here's the reason. As far as support is concerned, it seems to be hanging on pretty well around that $2.40 level. If it does break through it, then of course you can see levels being tested around $2.25. As far as for the bullish case reversal, first we need to see the stock go back to $3. It has shown to have support in this area, so I wouldn't be surprised if we have buyers stepping in. We're also going to be having some sellers that are going to be taking advantage of a swing play. So that is one thing we need to understand and keep note of. Also, we do know this play needs to fill in the gap around $3.77. Like I said, a very interesting play. Have a game plan, have a strategy. I can see some upside in the stock, especially if we have buying pressure picking up in 2022. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. Many shorts are vested in this play. And we know already, the moment we have some sort of news or we end up getting a big update from BBIG, we see how well this stock can start taking off. I'm not saying it's going to be happening very soon, but I just want to make sure that you are aware of that and you keep it on your watch list. And if you are holding a position, then you got to make sure that you have high conviction and you are able to stomach the volatility. Will BBIG be able to get back to the $3 range in 2022? Hey, that's what I'm going to be looking forward to. And if it doesn't happen, always know there's always another play out there in the market. But for now, let's wait for the stock to consolidate and then think about getting into the play when it starts showing a bullish pattern. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.